should be, whatever is inside should be greater than this greatest integer x should be greater than equal to 0. Okay, same thing I'll apply here. So whatever is in the under root, so this function, this greatest integer 2 minus 4x square should be greater than or equals to 0. This 2 minus 4x square should be greater than equal to 0. Now this greatest integer in this will, when I'll open this greatest integer, whatever is inside 2 minus 4x square should itself be greater than or equal to 0. Because whatever is inside, when this is greater than or equal to 0, this greatest integer will make it greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so this is simple. We have already seen this. So if I take 2 common, so this will be 1 minus 2x square should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, 1 minus 2x square should be greater than or equal to 0. Now I can remove this 2. That means 1 minus 2 of x square should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, now this I can solve using Wavy curve. This I can solve using Wavy curve. How can I solve it? So I'll factorize it first. So this will be 1 minus root 2 x into 1 plus root 2 x should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, I'll factorize this. The first part was factorization. Second part was finding the critical points. So for this one, the critical point will be, for this one, the critical point will be 1 minus root 2 x is equal to 0. So for this one, critical point is 1 by root 2 is equals to x. This one will be 1 by root 2 is equals to x. And for this one, the critical point I can find is 1 plus root 2x is equal to 0. So that means x is equals to 1 by minus 1 by root 2. Okay, so I've got two critical points, which is this plus 1 by root 2 and minus 1 by root 2. I'll plot this on a number line. Minus 1 by root 2 and plus 1 by root 2. Okay, I have plotted these two on number line, minus 1 by root 2 and plus 1 by root 2. Okay, now what I'll do, the last part was, third part was finding at x tending to infinity. Finding at x tending to infinity. If I substitute x is equals to infinity, this part will become positive. This part will become positive. But what about this part? This whole thing will become negative. If this is negative, this is positive, the whole sign becomes negative. So that means at x tending to infinity, this particular part is negative. If this is negative, that means the Wavy curve will start from negative part, but plus 1 by root 2, plus 1 by root 2, this power is 1, odd power, so that means it will change sign. Minus 1 by root 2, that means again it is odd, the power is odd, it will change sign. So negative, positive and negative. Okay, negative, positive and negative. We have to take only the positive part. So that means the domain of this particular function will, the domain of this particular function will belongs to close bracket, because 0 can be included, close bracket, minus 1 by root 2 to 1 by root 2. Understood? Just check it. Then we move on to the next question. Okay, so the domain of this particular function becomes minus 1 by root 2 to 1 by root 2. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The next question which I had given was, find the domain of f of x is equals to under the root of log 1 by 3 into and log 1 by 3, log base 1 by 3 of log 1 by 4 x. Log 1 by 3 of log base 1 by 4 x. Okay, now in this question we have to use the properties of a log with weak base. Weak base means when the base is less than 1. When the base is less than 1. In both the cases, the base is less than 1. The base is less than 1. So we use the property of log. Okay, now if you'll remember from the first class, the log with strong base was, the function looked something like this. The log with strong base looked something like this. Okay, and the log with weak base looked something just opposite of this. So this is the function for the log with v space. Log with weak base. This was the graph of log with weak base. Okay, and what this point was 1, 0. Okay, that means if I look at this graph, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. If this is the graph of log with weak base, if this is 1, 0, okay. Now, if I'll ask you where, for what values of x, this graph, this y is greater than 0. So this is y is equals to log, suppose 1 by 3 or 1 by 4 of x. 1 by 3 or 1 by 4 of x. Anything will be something like this. The approximate graph will be something like this. So where this graph is positive, the graph is positive for all those values of x which are between 0 to 1. That means x should belongs to 0 to 1. For x should belongs to 0 to 1. In between 0 to 1, this y is taking positive values. Between 0 to 1, this y is taking positive values. That means these values. Okay, and after 1, the y starts taking negative values. Y starts taking negative values. Before x, it starts taking positive values. Before x is equals to 1, it starts taking positive values. Okay, so I'll use this concept to solve this question. Okay, fine. So that means under the root of log 1 by 3 log 1 by 4 of x. Now this whole thing should be greater than or equal to 0. This whole thing should be greater than or equal to 0. For the time being, I can write this part as suppose k. For the time being, I can write this part as k. So this will become under the root of log 1 by 3 into k should be greater than or equal to 0. But I have just substituted this part as k. Fine. If this is equals to k, then this is a weak base. So what should be the domain of k? What should be the domain of k? That means using this, I can write that k should be greater than or equals to 0. K should be greater than 0 and less than equals to 1. Like k should be greater than 0 or less than equals to 1. Okay. If k is greater than 0 and k is less than equals to 1, if k is greater than 0 and less than equals to 1, that means what is the value of k? K is nothing but log of x base 1 by 4. This should be less than equals to 1 and greater than 0. Log x base 1 by 4 should be less than equals to 1 and greater than 0. And for this, what I can solve is that x, like if log x base 1 by 4 is less than equals to 1, that means from this I can get is that x should be less than equals to, by x should be less than equals to 1 by 4. If x is less than equals to 1 by 4, okay, and x is less than equals to 1 by 4. So using this, what I can do, I can find the domain of this function. Okay, so what I have done is, first I have used the property of log. That what happens, that when log is with weak base, the function will look something like this. When log is with weak base, the function will look something like this. Okay, when the function is something like this, that means between 0 to 1 of x, when log x between 0 to 1 of x, the log will be positive. Between 0 to 1 of x, the log will look positive. Okay, between 0 to 1 of x, the log will look positive. Now what I can do, I can convert the function. I can write the function as something like this. Log of 1 by 3 k should be greater than equal to 0. Okay, now if the first thing is that log of 1 by 3 of k should be greater than equal to 0. First thing I can write like this. Okay, when log 1 by 3 of k should be greater than equal to 0, that means the first part which we can write is that log of k 1 by 3 greater than equal to 0. If I try to plot this curve on the graph, so this curve will be something like this. Okay, now in between 0 to 1, so from 0 to 1, from 0 to 1 of k, so this is k, so from 0 to 1 of k, this graph will be positive. So that means first thing which we got is that k should be less than equals to 1 and greater than 0. K should be less than equals to 1 or greater than 0. So k already we have got. What is the value of k? K is log 1 by 4, log 1 by 4 of x. Log 1 by 4 of x should be less than equals to 1 and greater than 0. Okay, now if I'll again draw the graph of log x base 1 by 4, now basically I have to find the value of this. To find the value of this, again I will draw the graph. So suppose this is log 1 by 4 of x, log 1 by 4 of x. Okay, now see, when this graph is greater than 0, this graph is greater than 0 for all values. This graph is greater than 0 for all values of x less than 1. For all values of x less than 1. Okay, when value of x is less than 1, and what will be the value of log x 1 by 4 will be somewhere around here. Okay, the value of x, so this is y is equals to 1, will be somewhere around here. So that means all values of x between these values will be the domain of our function. Okay, between these values will be the values of our function. Fine. So that means I can write that x should be, from this I can write, looking at the graph, this I can write that x should be, first x should be less than equals to 1, x should be less than equals to 1, and x should be less than equals to 1 and greater than by, for this one, 1 by 4. X should be less than equals to 1 and greater than 1 by 4. Sorry, greater than equals to 4 and less than. Understood? Basic. Okay. So yeah, see, if you square the roots, what happens if you square the roots? There are some doubts. Some students are asking the doubts that if we square, then what will happen? Suppose if you square. So suppose if you have to find log x, y is equals to under root of x. If you square both sides, what will happen? You will have y square is equals to x. Okay, now see, in this the domain should be greater than or equal to 0. In this case, the domain should be greater than equal to 0 because the root does not allow you to take the negative values of x. Understood? But what happens in this case? In this case, if I'll not look at y square, in this case, what happens? There is no restriction on x. There is no restriction on x. Okay, right now, how do you find the restriction of x? By solving the quadratic equation. Okay, so in this case, so that is why if you are squaring is okay, but after squaring you have to understand that y square, this left hand side y square will always be positive. So that means the x has also always has to be positive. Okay, so if you square both sides, that means afterwards you have to consider the fact that this left hand side is always greater than 0, greater than equal to 0. So right side x also has to be greater than equal to 0. That means for this one the domain has to be greater than equal to 0. Okay, but all question will not be as simple as under root of x. Fine, all questions will not be as simple as under root of x. So that is why you can square, but after squaring just consider, always remember that squaring will increase the number of roots. So remember to remove those extra roots which you have got by squaring. Understood? Remove the extra roots which you have got by squaring. Fine. Okay, fine. So let's do some simple questions. You have to find the domain. You have to find the domain of the following. Find the domain of the following, or solve for x. Solve for x. Write the question. 2 by x should be less than 3. Find the solution for this. Solve for x. 2 by x is less than 3. solve for x. 2 by x is less than 3. Acha. So what is the problem with this question? What is the uh, weak base and strong base I've discussed in the first class. Okay, after the class I will discuss weak base and strong base once again. Okay, and the first I've already discussed in the first class. After this class, at the end, I will discuss weak base and strong base concept once again. Okay, but first look at this question. Okay, now what some of you must have done is you have cross multiplied with x this side. Okay, you must have cross multiplied x this side, so you must have got. So first is, let's see when we'll cross multiply x on the other side. So this will become 2 is less than 3x. 2 is less than 3x. Then you have done x should be greater than 2 by 3. X should be greater than 2 by 3. So you must have got solution something like this. When you cross multiply x on this side and you divide this, so you must have got solution like this, right? The problem with this is, suppose first is the problem with this solution is first is, suppose x is equals to 0. If suppose x is equals to 0, can you cross multiply 0 on the right side? No. First is, when x is equal to 0, you cannot multiply it 1 by 0, and you cannot multiply 0 on this side. So first conception mistake is this. Second part is, when x is less than 0, what happens? Suppose this is less than 0, that means this is negative. Suppose if this is negative, when you cross multiply negative on the other side, the inequality should change. When you cross multiply this x on this side, the inequality should change. That, and have we taken care of that inequality? So that means the two part in which this is wrong is, when x is equal to 0, we cannot cross multiply 1 by 0. And when x is less than 0, you have to change the inequality, which we have not done. Third is, the thing which is done right is, suppose if we have assumed that x is greater than 0. If x is greater than 0, we had assumed, then this is correct. If x is greater than 0, then it is correct. We do not have to consider that x is 0 or x is less than 0. If we have assumed that x is greater than 0, then we can cross multiply. But have we taken that assumption? So what we'll do, instead of cross multiplying this, what I'll do, I'll bring 3 on this side. So what I mean by bringing 3 on the other side, this 2 by x is less than 3. I can rewrite this question as 2 by x minus 3 less than 0. 2 by x minus 3 less than 0. So then I can take LCM. So this will become 2 minus 3x upon x is less than 0. 2 minus 3x upon x is less than 0. Now what does this become? This becomes a Wavy curve. This question converts into Wavy curve. Okay, so to solve the Wavy curve, first what I'll do, I'll write the factors. So this is to the power 1. This factor is also to the power 1. So I'll write the factors. So the factors are 2 minus 3x is and other factor is x. Okay, one factor is 2 minus 3x, the other factor is x. Now I'll write the critical points. For critical points of this will be 2 by 3 is equals to x. Critical point of this will be 2 by 3, and for critical point for this point will be x is equal to 0. For this will be x is equals to 2 by 3, and critical point of this was x is equal to 0. What I'll do next, I will plot this on number line. I'll plot this on number line. So first 0, second is 2 by 3. Okay. Third part which I'll do is x tending to infinity. At x tending to infinity, I'll find the sign. At x tending to infinity, I will find the sign. So what is the sign at x tending to infinity? At x tending to infinity, the denominator is 0. Denominator is greater than 0. This denominator is greater than 0. And what happens to the numerator? This numerator is less than 0. So the overall sign of this whole thing becomes negative. Okay, denominator is positive, numerator is negative. So the overall sign of this whole thing becomes negative. So that means this is negative. Okay, so the overall sign this function becomes negative. I will move from negative to the first critical points, 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is the solution for this. Power is odd. If the power is odd, what we will do? If the power is odd, what we will do? We will change the sign. That means this will go up. Then the second critical point is 0. For second critical point is 0. What is the power? 1. So that means again it will change the sign. That means negative. This is positive. This is negative. Understood? So what will be the domain? In which part we can take? We can take from 0 to 2 by 3. We can take from 0 to 2 by 3. Okay. Now, what brackets I have to take? Close or open? Now see, first thing is that 0 is in denominator. 0 is in denominator. So for 0, I know it will be open bracket. First thing is, it will be open bracket. Okay. Second part, I have to check for 2 by 3. Suppose if I substitute 2 by 3, as x, so this will become 3 minus 3, 0. 0 is not less than 0. So that means I have to exclude 2 by 3 also. So this becomes my domain. So domain becomes 0 to 2 by 3. Okay. I'll first you should check this, then I'll again discuss why we are getting this different. Okay, 1 by 0, see 1 by 0 is already not defined. Okay, 1 by 0 is already not defined. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sir. So this, it is less than 0. Yeah, it is less than 0. So that means this part should be removed. So this part, sorry. So this part, domain. So we have to take less than 0. So we have to take only the negative values. Yeah, correct. This part is r minus this part. This part is positive. We have to take only negative part. So r minus 0 to 2 by 3. Yeah, correct. Very good. One of you have figured out that this is less than 0. So this is positive. We have to remove this part. So we have to take only negative parts. Yeah, correct. Okay. Now see, when we were cross multiplying this x, what solution we were getting? We were only getting the solution this part, which we have already got. That it should be greater than 2 by 3. Which we have already got that it should be greater than 2 by 3. Which solution we are missing? We are missing the negative part as whole. We are missing the part where x should be less than 0. Suppose x is any value which is negative. On the left hand side, we will get overall negative sign. On the right side, we have positive. So for any value of x which is less than 0, it will be solvable, right? But if we simply cross multiply, we will not get that solution. And why we are not getting this solution? Because when we cross multiply, we have already assumed unknowingly that x is greater than 0. We have already assumed unknowingly that x is greater than 0. Okay, so that means when you cross multiply, you are removing some of the solution unknowingly, or maths is taking care of the problem, or maths is taking care of the condition that x is equal to 0 and x is less than 0. Okay, so what we have to do to solve these kind of question, always bring this on one side, always keep everything in terms of x on the one side, and then solve using Wavy curve. Okay, I'll give a similar question, something like this. Suppose you have 2x minus 3 upon 3x minus 5 is greater than equals to 3. 2x minus 3 and 3x minus 5 is greater than equal to 3. Now I have to solve for this. Okay, so again, what we can do, we can bring this 3 on one side. We can bring this 3 on one side, and then we can try solving it. We should not cross multiply this. We should not cross multiply this on the other side. So what I'll do, I'll write it as 2x minus 3 upon 3x minus 5 minus 3 should be greater than equal to 0. 2x minus 3 upon 3x minus 5 minus 3 should be greater than equal to 0. Okay, now can I try to solve this using Wavy curve? Okay, tell me what is the answer. Try to solve this using Wavy curve, because I can just take LCM and I will get a linear equation in the numerator and linear equation in the denominator. Tell me what will be the answer using the Wavy curve. Okay, so let's see. You have started giving answers. Yes, I guess it is correct. So this is 2x minus 3. If I take the LCM, this is minus 3 into 3x minus 5 upon 3x minus 5 should be greater than equal to 0. Okay, now this becomes 2x minus, so this becomes 2x minus 3 minus of 9x plus 15 upon 3x minus 5 should be greater than equal to 0. Okay, so if I'll solve it further, so this part becomes 2x minus 9x, this will become minus 7x. This becomes minus 7x plus 7 plus 15 minus 13, so this is plus 12 upon 3x minus 5 should be greater than equal to 0. Okay, I'll rewrite it. So this becomes 12 minus 7x upon 3x minus 5 should be greater than equal to 0. Okay, now this becomes perfect example of the Wavy curve. If this is an example of AB curve, what I have to do, I have to write this. I have to write the. I have to write the particular factors, and then I have to write the critical points. So these are two factors. The power of the first factor is 1, second factor is 1, or both are odd powers. I will write the critical points on the number line in ascending order. So the first one, the critical point will be 12 by 7. The first one, the critical point will be 12 by 7. So second factor, the critical point will be 5 by 3. Okay, the first point will be critical point 12 by 7 and 5 by 3. Now I just have to figure out which one is greater. So 5 by 3 will be somewhat 1.66. 5 by 3 will be 1.66 and 12 by 17 will be approximately, so this will be 12 by 17 will be approximately uh, uh, 1.7ish. 12 by 7 will be something around 1.7. Okay, so that means this will be 12 by 7 will be approximately 1 by 7 and 5 by 3 will be approximately 1 by 66. Okay, so this is greater, this is less. At x tending to infinity, x tending to infinity, this denominator will be positive. This denominator will be positive. Okay, so that, and this numerator will be negative. So x tending to infinity, this whole thing will be negative. So from negative, 12 by 7, power is odd, change sign, positive. Then again, at 5 by 3, power is odd, again change sign. Okay, so the domain of this particular function will belongs to this part. So this is 5 by 3 to 12 by 7. I just have to figure out close bracket or open bracket. Okay, so 12 by 7 is a numerator and this is equal to 0. So that means that 12 by 7 will be close bracket. 5 by 3 is in denominator. So that means this will be open bracket. So this will become the domain. Some of you have given the correct answer. Very good. Okay, so this will be the domain. Okay, fine, very good. So just look at it. I'll give you the next question. Fine. Okay. Now write down the next question. Okay. So the next question is little bit tricky. You have to understand what they are asking and then try to solve it. Okay. Now they have you have to find the solution of or solve for x where x is greater than under the root of 1 minus x. Where x is greater than under the root of 1 minus x. Think about the question for a little bit. Think about the question for a little bit and try to solve it. Now, some of you have already figured out that if there is a root, if there is a root, is suppose if there was a root in the question, you were saying that, sir, if we square both sides, what will happen? Yes, there were doubt that if we square. So in this question, we will square. In this question, we will square. Why? Because there is a square root on one side, and there is simply x on the other side. So we cannot directly solve this. We have to square. But before squaring, we will make sure that we won't get any extra answers. Before squaring, we will make sure that we won't get any extra answers. By extra answers, what do I mean? That suppose if this is negative and this is x is negative, then what will happen? Or x is positive, what will happen? Or x is 0, what will happen? We'll already make sure that we have, when we are squaring, we'll take care of that. Okay, so the first part which I look at is that by root of anything, this root of anything, this part is always positive. This root of 1 minus x is always positive. This root of 1 minus x is always positive. If left hand side is positive and it is less than x, if right hand side, this is positive, I know the root of something will always be positive. If this is positive, that means this has also to be positive. But suppose if x is negative, negative cannot be greater than positive. So that means the right hand side also has to be greater than 0. So that means that the x has to be, the first condition is that x has to be greater than 0. This is the first condition on x. First condition on x. Okay, so if left hand side is greater than 0 and right hand side is greater than 0, if left hand side is greater than 0 and the right hand side is also greater than 0, if both sides are greater than 0, then only I can square. If both sides are greater than 0, only then I can square. Okay, I've already taken care that none of these part is negative. If both are greater than 0, then I can square. Second condition will be that 1 minus x should be greater than or equal to 0. 1 minus x, what is inside the root, should be greater than or equal to 0. That means the second condition on x is, that x should be less than equals to 1. So this is minus, so negative of root, this cannot be negative. This part is always positive. See, under root of 4, what is the value of under root of 4? Under root of 4 is only 2. Under root of 4 is not equals to plus minus 2. Under root of 4 is only equals to 2. Under root of 4 is not equals to plus minus 2. Root values are always positive. Root values are not equals to plus minus 2. Okay. Suppose you have x is equals to root of 4. This means x is equals to only 2. X is equals to root of 4 is not equals to plus minus 2. Understood? Why? Because this is linear equation. Linear equation cannot have two roots. Okay. If this was x square equals to 4, then the value of x will be 2. Two values of x, that is plus or minus. Understood? So under root means positive. So that means right hand side is positive. So left hand side has to be positive. So these are the two conditions on x I have already got. Using these two conditions, now when I'll square both sides, I will get x square is greater than 1 minus x. Okay, using these two conditions, now I can square. I am saying that okay, I will square, but x should lie in between these two. X should satisfy these two properties also. So I have already got the square. So what I'll do, x square plus x minus 1 should be greater than 0. X square minus x square plus x minus 1 should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay. Now what I'll do, this is a quadratic equation. This is a quadratic expression. This part I can factorize it. So after factorization, you know how to factorize a quadratic expression? Yes. So after factorization, so I'll write it once again. So this is x square plus x minus 1 should be greater than 0. So I'll write the factors of this. So the factors of this I can find by, I can use linear equation. Answer for linear equation can be negative. Answer for so this is x is equals to root of 4. Root of 4 is not negative. Root of 4 is always positive. Linear equation by it should be a simple only one answer. Suppose x is equals to minus root 4. X is equals to minus root 4. Then x is equals to minus 2. Understood? But if x is equals to root 4, this does not mean you will get plus minus 2. Okay? Roots of anything will always be positive. By root of anything will always be positive. Okay? That is why linear equation can have negative solution. Okay? Linear equation can have negative solution. In this example, x is equals to minus root 4. So this becomes x is equals to 2, minus 2. Okay? But if x is equals to root 4, this does not mean that x is equals to plus minus 2. Linear equation will only have one solution. Quadratic equation will have two solutions. Cubic equation will have 3 solutions. Biquadratic or to the power 4 will have 4 solutions. Okay, depending on the question. Okay, that is why linear will only have 1, not 2, because this is not quadratic. Understood? Okay, fine. Okay, so if I'll factorize this thing, I will get x minus 1 minus root 5 by 2 into x minus 1 plus root 5 by 2 should be greater than 0. How I got this? You can find the roots. This quadratic expression using the formula for the roots. So x is equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a. You can use this. You can find the two roots. So you can write the factors of these two roots. Okay. If you have got two roots, you can find the factors of these two roots. Okay. So this is x minus first root into x minus the second root. Okay. From this, when you try to solve, so I'll find these two roots also. So what is b? This is b is 1. So this is minus 1 plus minus under root of b square 1 minus 4 into a is 1 and c is minus 1 upon 2 into 1. So this becomes minus 1 plus minus under the root of 5 by 2. Okay. So this becomes the root. That is why I've written these two factors. X minus 1 minus under root of 5 by 2 and x minus 1 plus under root of 5. Okay. Using this, I can get the solution. Okay. So these are the two roots. Okay. So these are the two roots. Okay. So if I'll use these two roots, then this will give you the solution for the wave equation. I can write these two roots and I can get the solution using the wave equation. Okay. Now fine. Okay. So the solution, this will be x minus 1 minus root 5 by 2 into x minus 1 plus root 5 by 2 should be greater than 0. Okay. Which one is greater? This part or this part? Let's see. This is minus 1 minus root 5 by 2. So this is negative altogether. This one is positive. So this one is minus 1 minus root 5 by 2. And this one is minus 1 plus root 5 by 2. Okay. Now what I'll do? I'll take x tending to infinity. So this is x tending to infinity. If x tending to infinity, I'll check this one will be positive and this one will be positive. Right. So for both x tending to infinity, this is positive. Then the power of both the factors is odd, 1 and 1, change sign, and from here also it will change sign. So this will be positive, this will be negative, and this will be positive. Okay. So from this wave curve, what I got answer is minus infinity to minus 1 minus root 5 by 2, close bracket, union minus 1 plus root 5 by 2, comma, infinity. So this is the solution I am getting from this. This is the solution I am getting from this. Understood? So I'll write it on the fresh page. So we got minus infinity to minus 1 minus root 5 by 2 union minus 1 plus root 5 by 2 comma infinity. So these were the two solutions. Okay. If you remember, the original condition on x, which we used was x should be greater than 0. So first was x should be greater than 0. The first condition was x should be greater than 0, and the second condition was that x should be less than equals to 1. X should be less than equals to 1. X should be less than equals to 1. Okay. Now this answer I am getting, yeah, this answer I should be getting by, yeah, this answer I should be getting by after I was getting this answer after squaring. That is why I'm getting this big interval. Okay. But these were the condition which I should be using from the initial part. So x should be greater than 0. But from this I am getting solution of x in the negative part also. By this condition I was getting from the first, but I am getting this solution by squaring. So that means this part is an extra solution for me. So I will remove this extra solution. Okay. This part is an extra solution for me. So I will remove this extra solution. Okay. Now x should be less than equals to 1 also. X should be less than equals to 1 also. Okay. So if x is less than equals to 1, what is this value? Minus 1 plus 1 root 5 by 2. Minus 1 plus root 5 by 2. This will be something less than 1. By root 5 is approximately 2 point something. 2 point something minus 1 is approximately 1 point something. 1 point something divided by 2. So this is approximately 0.5. Something 0.5. This is approximately 0.5. So right. So that means this is minus 1 plus root 5 by 2, and this is 1. X should be less than equals to 1 and greater than minus 1 plus root 5 by 2. So that means my original solution becomes, using the original condition and the solution I'm getting after squaring. So the solution becomes minus 1 plus root 5 by 2 comma 1. So this one will be close bracket, and this one will this minus 1 plus root 5 by 2 will be open bracket. Now some of you are asking why this is an open bracket. See, in the original question x was greater than 1 minus x, root of 1 minus x. X was greater than root of 1 minus x. So when I'll square, this still was greater than 0. This still was greater than 0. Yes, this still was greater than 0. This is greater than 0. So if I'll include these roots, it will become equal to 0. So that means this part will be open bracket. Okay, so I hope this solution is okay. I'll repeat. Yeah, sum of factorization to equal. But when you factorize, just try to factorize it once again. You will get these as a factor. Okay, how do I get these factors? By considering it as by using the solution, finding the roots for a quadratic expression. When you find the root of quadratic expression using the formula, you will get the same factor. Okay, now see. I'll show the slides once again, and then after that I will discuss the weak base once again. Okay, I'll show the slides from first once again, then I'll discuss the weak base once again. Okay, so this was the first, these were the two questions which we have discussed first. Okay, this was the homework question. So first I've solved using the first homework question. So just take the screenshot of the slides if you want to. So this was the solution of the first homework question. Then this I have shown weak base and strong base. Okay, this was the solution for the second homework question.
Sir, kindly show this little upper.
Okay, so I'll discuss about the weak base and strong base. So see, in the first class, what I've discussed is, suppose you have logarithmic functions. So the log function, so suppose you have any function log base b, the base I have given is b, x is equals to y. Okay, we have already seen when, so conditions on x, condition on x is x is greater than 0. And there is also condition on the base. Base should be greater than 0 and base should not be equals to 1. The base should be greater than 0 and base should not be equals to 1. Okay. If base is greater than 0 and base is not equal to 1, that means if I draw this on number line, this is 0 and this is 1. So base should be greater than 0. That means from here and it should move, and it should not be equals to 1, and then anything after that. So I can divide this whole thing into two parts. That when the base is less than 1 and greater than 0, and when the base is greater than 1. Okay, so this is known as, when the base is in between this will be known as weak base. Okay, and when the base is lying in this will be known as strong base. Okay, by strong base I mean whatever your normal logarithmic function will look like. Okay, so this is suppose log e x. That means your natural log. That means your natural log. E's values is greater than 1, 2 point something. So log e base log base e x, log x base e. Okay, this is your natural log or your ln, which you write ln x. Fine. This will be your natural log or log with strong base. Okay. Now I'll describe what is weak base. Now for weak base, what is happening? Suppose this was a strong base. Suppose this was a strong base. The weak base will just reverse. The weak base will be just opposite of that. So weak base will be something like this. The weak base will look something like this. Now this point is 1, 0. This point is 1, 0. Even from weak base or for strong base, this point will be 1, 0. Now I will explain why this curve is something like this. Okay, I'll explain this why this curve is something like this, or how can you remember it. Okay, suppose you have log 1/2 of x is equals to y. Suppose you have log 1/2 log base 1/2 x is equals to y. Okay, now see, substitute x is equals to 1. One more thing, this log I can also write this as, by this condition, in this equation I can also write this as x is equals to 1/2 of y. 1/2 to the power y is equals to x, right? This I can write as like this, right? So the first thing, the first point, when x is equals to 1, when x is equals to 1, what should be the value of y? When x is equals to 1, what should be the value of y? This should give me y is equal to 0. So that means I will get this point. Okay, first point, this point is very easy to find. So this point is common for every log. Even if it is weak base or strong base, you will get. Okay. Now see, start increasing. So now what I'll do, start increasing the value of y. Start increasing the value of y. From 0, increase the y. Make y is equals to 1. Make y is equals to 1. If y is equals to 1, second is, if y is equals to 1, x is equals to 1 by 2. Okay. Now make y is equals to 2. If y is equals to 2, x will be 1 by 4. Okay. So as y is increasing, x is decreasing. As y is increasing, x is decreasing. Suppose y is 1000. Suppose y is 1000. X will be 1 by 2 to the power 1000. So that means x will be very close to 0. As y is very large, x is very close to 0. So that means as x decreases, y increases. Understood? Now suppose if I decrease the value of y, if I make the y negative, so suppose y is minus 1, so x will become 2. If y is minus 1, x will become 2. If suppose y is minus 2, x will become 4. So as y decreases, as y becomes negative, x starts increasing. Understood? So this is the way you can remember that the curve will be something like this. Understood? So this is the concept of weak base. Okay, if you want to check, you can go move on to the first class which I have discussed on the question based on this. Okay, fine. In the next class, we'll start doing questions on the range. Till now, we were doing domain and we were solving for x. Now we will start solving for y. Okay.